You have very important pension funds in Canada, and these pension funds have a lot of investable surplus. And we have an investment gap, particularly in infrastructure, where we need a lot more people to invest. And therefore, along with the bankers and other financial sector companies, I have a series of meetings lined up with the various pension funds and other funds, because we are trying to get them to invest in India either independently or as a part of the National Infrastructure Investment Fund.
So is the idea to get them to invest in the NIF? Would that be the more important one?
No, I think there we are very flexible. The NIF itself is a composite fund. Anybody can be a part of the fund, or there will be sub-funds which will be project-specific. They can invest as a part of them. India has a good story to tell. And compared to the rest of the world, India is moving much faster, and therefore the options for investors also to invest in the world are today quite limited. And India offers those opportunities. Our interest rates and the likely returns on those investments is going to be much higher than what they can get elsewhere.
Mr. Jaitley, just on the day, in fact, that you left for Canada, you held a press conference where you announced that 64,000 people had taken part in that declaration scheme, and about 65,000 crore rupees which is likely to go up. If I could get your reaction to that, it's about 1 crore average, as you said. It could go up, but also means about 30,000 crore rupees that comes into the central exchequer by that 45% tax.
Well, I think the revenue is important. And the revenue is important because every year when you match the revenues with the expenditure, if there is a fallout of certain incomes not otherwise coming to the government, then additional revenue certainly will help. And this is a revenue which we will get over a period of 2 financial years. 50% of it we get this year, 50% we get next year. But I think more important than the revenue is the fact that it's a part of a much larger campaign that the Prime Minister had initiated in the last 2 years in order to make India a tax-compliant nation. Those who have a lot of undisclosed income and have not declared it, today run the risk. If the system gets to know of them, then of course they'll have to face the consequences.
And GST, of course, will also make the country more tax-compliant.
GST will certainly make India more tax compliant, because if your indirect tax revenues move up and everything gets recorded into the system, now the direct tax income resulting out of that can also be calculated.
You did talk about interest rates. We're on the eve of the first monetary policy of Mr. Urjit Patel's, and of course the new committee that has been constituted. Do you think there's a case for a rate cut?
Let the wise men meet and decide. I trust them.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.